still remains governments willing to destroy our way of life and remove our freedoms, I would argue that today the greatest threat to our freedom is lawlessness and anarchy. This brings me to heroes. What is a hero? A hero is someone who gives himself, often putting his own life at great risk for the greater good of others. Heroes overcome their fears in order to protect the innocent. Heroes push aside their own desires for wealth, fame, and recognition to fulfill and answer a calling. Heroes often lose sight of themselves while they carry the weight of their communities. Heroes are ordinary people with ordinary abilities, with extraordinary resolve to protect and serve. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a room full of heroes here tonight. By my calculation, there's hundreds of heroes in Murray County, protecting and serving every day. Not to mention military veterans, nurses, first responders, and firemen. And yes, even a fireman can be a hero. Hollywood defines a hero as someone with unbelievable abilities. He flies in, saves the day, and gets the girl right. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Heroes are often overlooked, unnoticed, misunderstood, forsaken, and neglected. One dictionary tells me that a hero is a mythological or legendary figure, often of divine descent or sent by God. This leads me to Isaiah 6:8. I heard a voice of the Lord saying, "Who shall I send? And who will go for us?" Then said I, "Here am I, send me." We've interviewed countless men and women seeking a career in this profession over the years. And we ask every candidate the same question. Why do you seek a profession or a career in law enforcement? Interesting enough, over 90% of these folks give us the exact answer, nearly word for word. And Chief, y'all know what I'm about to say. I just want to help people. Heroes are called, and heroes answer that call every day. Briefly, to the families of our heroes, I would like to say, after speaking with and spending time with surviving families of fallen officers, I believe they would want me to tell you this. One, hold your hero. They are heroic, but they're not invincible. They need you. They come home broken, when they come home broken and scared, hold them. When they don't want to talk about their shit, hold your hero. Understand your hero. These men and women see and deal with the unthankful. They carry the burden of their communities, and sometimes the weight is too much to bear. They need you, families. To the heroes in the room, the men and women wearing a badge and uniform, and to those watching the room, thank you for answering the call to service. Thank you for carrying this burden. Thank you for protecting our freedoms. You are the next greatest generation.
The words, the ultimate sacrifice, have they become so commonplace that they have no true meaning? And I think about all the recent church and school killings that seem like they happen every day. And they lose meaning specific as to that particular school. I wonder how much the public understands that officers are putting themselves in harm's way every day, and that they have to make split-second decisions out there. Do we understand that those serving us are putting themselves in harm's way to protect us? Is a pretty thankless job. Over the past few weeks, when I realized I was going to speak, I started asking officers who were around me about what they thought about the attitude of people toward them in the recent years. And surprisingly enough, overwhelming response was, the people who always disrespected us still disrespect us. That's no different. However, we do see more kind words, words of encouragement. We see people buying our meals when we eat out. And so I was happy to see that. And I want to stress that it's up to us to never allow those words, the officer made the ultimate sacrifice, to become trite and meaningless. Because every officer who is disrespected out there or harmed, for every one of those, here's another one following behind him. That officer, men and women, get up every morning, put on their badge, put on their uniform, and go to work to protect us. It is up to us to carry on the message to our children and our grandchildren to always have respect for those who care about us, who put their lives on the line each day for us, and how that impacts our lives. We need to enforce to our children and grandchildren that we owe a debt to our fallen officers, a debt that we can never really repay. We must carry the message that we must support our officers who continue on, because their continued service is clearly a tribute to the fallen. And so we thank you, officers. We thank you for doing not just a job, but for your respect for safety, for law and order. We thank you for protecting us in the face of abuse by people towards you. We thank you for your service in keeping us safe. We thank you for seeing things that no human being should ever see. We thank you for your dedication to a sometimes dark and often violent side of life. And we thank you for your random acts of kindness.
Now you're gone, all I have are memories I hold dear. If I'm quiet, I hear your voice still ringing in my ear. Stay here with no excuses, love with no regrets. Laugh a lot and leave this life with nothing left unsaid. Make this world a better place. Don't be afraid to cry. When it's finally time to say goodbye, there's nothing to prove, nothing to lose, nothing to hide. See, life cannot be measured by place you live and how you try. The thing that counts is that you die. Is who you are and what's inside. You tell the truth, don't never lie. Integrity in any prize. Your words your bond, your highest prize. So guard and hold with lies. So many things I learned from you about life and love and play. But I learned more about how you live than what I heard you say. Live with no excuses, love with no regrets. Laugh a lot and leave this life with nothing left unsaid. Make this world a better place. Don't be afraid to cry. When it's finally time to say goodbye, nothing to prove, nothing to lose, nothing to hide. I only want to live my life half as well as you. To leave behind what I received is all I want to do.
These protectors are referred to as law enforcement officers, which is true because a major part of what we do is enforce the law. But also, officers could be called offenders. because in using their law enforcement authority, they defend the defenseless, the vulnerable, and the oppressed. They are defenders of the peace, and they defend our way of life in this great nation that so many of our brothers and sisters in the military have fought and died to protect from foreign threats. Law enforcement officers, defenders, provide protection from threats within. Just as our protection from foreign threats comes at a very steep price, also the protection we receive from within is also too costly at times. Paid for by the lives of law enforcement officers. Again, I want to thank you each for joining with us tonight in paying honor to those who have made the ultimate sacrifice, and may God bless each one of you and the law enforcement officers of this community.